Hi guys, so today we're going through a predicted paper for this GCSE. So this is our best guess at what we think the paper's going to look like. So first question, write 2/5 as a percentage. Well, 2/5 is the same, if I can get that over 10, that'd be 4/10, which is the same as 40/100, so that must be 40%. From the list, write down a multiple of 3. So which one of these is in the 3 times table? That would be 21. Simplify. So these are being times together, so that would be e to the power of 4. Change 400 centimetres into metres. Well, there's 100 centimetres in 1 metre, so that must be 4 metres. Write 7,829 to the nearest 10. Well, after the 10s would be there, that's a 9, so that one's going to go up. So 7,830. Alright, we've got an 8-sided spinner. On the probability scale, mark with the cross the probability that the spinner will land on C. Well, I've got 2 C's out of 8 options, which is the same as a quarter. So I'm going to put my mark there, that's where a quarter would be. Mark with a cross the probability the spinner will land on D. Well, there are no D's, so it can't land there, so that must go there. There are only apple, cherry, pear trees and plum trees in an orchard. The pictogram shows the information about the number of apple trees, cherry trees, pear trees in the orchard. So a big box like this represents 4. There is a total of 26 trees in the orchard. Complete the pictogram. Okay, well that would be 4 people, 2 people. So 10 altogether. That would be 4 people, that would be 1 person. So that's 5 altogether. That would be 4 people, that would be 4 people. So that's 8 altogether. So I've got 10 plus 8 plus 5. So I think that's 23 trees altogether. I need 26, so there must be 3 plum trees. So 3 is going to be 3/4 of this shape. There we go. 5 kilograms of meat cost £65. Nina buys 3 kilograms of the meat. Work out how much Nina pays. Okay, so if I start with 5 kilograms, and that's the same as £65, then to get 1 kilogram, I must divide that by 5. So I do the same on that side. 65 divided by 5 is 13. So if I know that 1 kilogram is £13, then 3 kilograms must be times by 3. So that would be £39. PQR is a straight line. Work out the size of angle X. Right, I know that angles on a straight line add to 180 degrees. 120 plus 125 would be 145. So what do I need extra to get from 145 to 180? That'd be 35 degrees. Plot the point with the coordinate 2 minus 3. So that's along the corridor, excuse me, and up the stairs. So 2 along, 3 down would be there. Write down the coordinates of the midpoint of BC. So the midpoint of BC is just halfway along this line, which to my eye looks to be there. We can check it by looking at the coordinates. So if I look at the x coordinate of B and of C, 3 add minus 2 be 1, and half of that would be 0.5, so that looks right for my x coordinate. And then for my y coordinate, I could add these 2 together. 3 add 1 be 4, half of that would be 2. Yeah, so you can do these by eye, or you can do them by looking at the coordinates, adding them together and halving them. Right, question 11. At the end of October, Fiona's electricity meter reads 88,957. At the end of November, her electricity meter reads 89,317. The cost of electricity Fiona uses costs 29p for each unit. Work out how much she had to pay for in November. Okay, so it'll be the difference between these two, won't it, which is the unit she's used. So let's have 89317 take away 88957. 7 take 7 is nothing. 1 take 5 can't be done, so borrow. 11 take 5 would be 6. 2 take 9 can't be done, so I need to borrow. 12 take 9 would be 3. So I've got 360 units. So that's 360 units at 29p each. So 360 times 29. 3 times 2 is 6, and then I need 3 zeros on this one. 6 times 2 is 12, and then I need 2 zeros. 3 times 9 is 27, 2 zeros. 9 times 6 is 54, and 1 zero. So now I'm going to add up these numbers in my grid. Well, actually, that one, add that one, is 7,200, and that one, add that one, is 3,240. So 0, 4, 4, 10. So that's in pence, isn't it? Because this was in pence up here. So that must be the same as £104.40. A bag contains red counters and blue counters only. Number of red counters to number of blue counters is 2 to 5. Write down the fraction of the counters that are red. Well, there's 2 red, or at least 2 parts red. Out of how many parts altogether? 7. Write down the ratio 18 to 24 in the form 1 to n. Okay, so I've got 18 to 24, and I want this first number to be 1. So to get from there to there, I divide by 18. So if I do the same on this side, 24 divided by 18, because I can leave my answer as a fraction. So let's just simplify this down. So 12 over 9, which should be the same as 4 over 3. So this is 1 to 4/3. Reflect the shape in the mirror line. Okay, so this corner is 1 away from the line, so it's going to be 1 away on the other side. Then this is 3 wide, so 3 wide, be like that. And then that's that side there, isn't it? Because I've got 1, 2 squares, 1, 2 squares. So now we can see where it's going. Right, Tim and 2 friends go on holiday together for a week. The 3 friends will share the cost of the holiday equally. Here are the costs for the holiday. So £9.30 for 3 return plane tickets, £5.40 for the villa, £192 for the hire of a car for the week. Work how much Tim has to pay for his share. So let's add up how much it is altogether first. Okay, so £1,662 altogether. So I need to divide that by 3 because there's 3 people. So 3's into 1 don't go, carry the 1. 3's into 16 go 5 times, carry the 1. 3's into 16 go 5 times, carry the 1. 3's into 12 go 4 times. So £554 each. The number sequence starts 1, 2, 4. Emma says the next term is 8. Explain why Emma might be correct. Okay, so what pattern would get me 8 there? Oh, if it was timesing by 2. So the rule could be times 2. Here are the first 4 terms of the sequence of Fibonacci numbers. Find the 8th term in this sequence. Okay, so that's the first, the second, the third, the fourth, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. Now the way the Fibonacci sequence works is each number is the sum of the 2 before it. So 2 is 1 plus 1. 3 is 2 plus 1. So 5 will be 2 plus 3, which is 5. And this one will be that plus that, so 5, 6, 7, 8. And then 8 plus 5, which will be 13. And then 13 plus 8, which will be 21. So our 8th term is 21. Y equals 3x minus 7. Work out the value of y when x is 2. So I'm going to be substituting 2 in where my x is. So that'll be 3 times 2, take away 7. Remember BidMath saying that we're going to do this multiplication first. So 3 times 2 is 6. Take away 7 is minus 1. Expand. So I'm timesing what's on the outside by everything on the inside of the bracket. So 4 times a is 4a. And 4 times minus 5 is minus 20. Factorise 6y plus 9. So the biggest number that goes into 6 and 9 is 3. And then I'm looking to get back to what I've got here. So 3 times something that will get me 6y. That'll be 2y. And then 3 times something else to get 9. That'll be 3. Alright, solve. Well, let's get rid of this minus 7 by adding 7. So that'll give me 8x equals 24. And then if I divide by 8 to just get one of my x's, x will equal 3. Alright, 100 people are asked if they like coffee. 54 of these people are women. Okay, so if 54 of them are women, there must be 46 men. 71 of the 100 people like coffee. I can't do anything with that information yet. 9 of the men do not like coffee. So do not like coffee on men. There's 9 of those. So there must be 37 that do like coffee. That must make sense, mustn't it? Because they've got to add to that one. So if 71 of the 100 people like coffee, what goes with 37 to get 71? 34. So they add together to get my 71 people that do like coffee. So then my women who do not like coffee must be whatever goes with 34 to get 54, which is 20. One of the people who like coffee is chosen at random. Find the probability that this person is a woman. Okay, so it's one of the people who like coffee is chosen at random. So how many people like coffee? That's actually in the question up here, 71. So let's have this out of 71 because it's out of people that like coffee. Find the probability that this person is a woman. Well, the women that like coffee, there's 34 of those, so 34 out of 71. The diagram shows a rectangular garden path. Harry's going to cover the path with paving stones. Each paving stone is a square of side 40 centimetres. Each paving stone costs £6. Harry has £280 to spend on the paving stones. Show that he has enough money to buy all the paving stones he needs. Right, so the way I think about this is how many of these slabs will I get in going each way? So how many 40 centimetres go into 120 centimetres? Well, that would be 3. So I'm going to have like 3 rows of slabs. And then how many 40 centimetres go into 600? Well, that's a bit trickier, isn't it? So let's have 600 divided by 40. If I simplify this down, I can give myself an easier question. So that's the same as 60 divided by 4, which is the same as 30 divided by 2, which is 15, isn't it? We could go further to get 15 over 1, but that is 15. We know that 30 divided by 2 is 15, so there'll be 15 tiles going in along this way. So how many tiles is that? Well, if it's 15 by 3, that must be 15 lots of 3 or 3 lots of 15. So that's 45 tiles in total. Now, each tile costs £6, doesn't it? So if I need 45 tiles, 45 times 6. 6 times 4 is 24, 1 0. 6 times 5 is 30. Add these together, 40, 50, 60, 70, so £270. Yeah, Harry's got 280. Yes, he has enough. I've shot there, sorry. Right, work out an estimate for 49 times 31 divided by 0.52. So if we're asked for an estimate, we need to round each of these things to one significant figure. So 49 would be 50. 31, we'd call that 30. 0.52 would be 0.5. Why did I write 31? Did I say 30? I hope I said 30. So 50 times 30. 5 times 3 is 15. Add on 2 zeros. So I've got 1,500 divided by 0.5, or divided by half. Well, there's 2 halves in every one, isn't there? There's 2 halves in every one. So there must be 3,000 halves in 1,500. Dividing by a half is the same as timesing by 2. So my estimate for that would be 3,000. Here's a list of ingredients for making 10 scones. Mia wants to make 15 scones. How much self-raising flour does she need? Well, if this is for 10, if I divide that by 2, it'll give me for 5. So self-raising flour, 350 divided by 2. 2's going once, carry 1. 2's going 7 times for 14, carry 1. 2's going 5 times. So for 5 people, it'd be 175 grams. So for 15, then I'm just going to do my 10 plus my 5, and that'll be 15. So 350, add 175. 525 grams. Right, work out 46.3 times 5.8. Right, the easiest way to do this, I suppose, is to ignore the decimal to start with. So I'm going to do 463 times 58. So 463 times 58. 5 times 4 is 20. 3 extra zeros. 5 times 6 is 30 with 2 extra zeros. 5 times 3 is 15, 1 extra zero. 8 times 4 is 32 with 2 extra zeros. 8 times 6 is 48 with 1 extra zero. And 8 times 3 is 24. Okay, so I just need to add up what's in my grid. Now I might shortcut a little bit here. I can add these in my head because that's 3 zeros. That's got 3, so that's going to go there. That'd go, so 2, 3, 1, 5, 0. For those 3 added up. Add, be careful with your columns here. Sometimes it's better to write it down backwards to make sure all your columns are lined up. And then 480 at 24 would be 504. Just have a little shortcut along the way. So 0, 0, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7, 8, 6, and 2. But that's my answer for 463 times 58. So for this one, there's one number behind the decimal there, another number behind the decimal there. So I want 2 numbers behind the decimal in my answer, so I think our decimal is going to go there. So 268.54. Write 204 as a product of its prime factors. Okay, so let's do a prime factor tree. So 204, that's, well, 2 times 102, 2's prime. 2 will go in again 51 times. It's 51 prime. Now 3 goes into 51. 3 goes in 17 times, and 17 is prime. So 204 would be 2 squared, because of my 2 2's, times 3 times 17. Right, show that 1 2/3 times 3 1/5 equals 5 1/3. So I'm going to make these into top-heavy fractions. So 1 times 3 is 3, add 2 is 5, so 5/3 times 3 times 5 is 15, add 1, 16/5. So multiplying fractions, just times straight across. 5 times 16 is 80, 3 times 5 is 15. If we simplify that down, 5's go into both of them. So 16 5's in 80 and 3 5's in 15. So if I try and make this top heavy now, how many 3's go into 16? Oh, 5 of them with 1 left over. Bottom number stays the same. Right, Abby is 9 years older than Ben. Charlotte is twice as old as Abby. The sum of their ages is 67. Find the ratio of Abby's age to Ben's age to Charlotte's age. Right, this feels to me like we're going to form and solve some equations. So I'm going to say that Abby is 8 years old. Ben, if Abby is 9 years older than Ben, then Ben must be A minus 9, because he's 9 years younger than Abby. And Charlotte, who is twice as old as Abby, I'm going to call that 2A. Just be sure that that's a 9. So, if I know that these add to 67, I can say that A plus A minus 9 plus 2A equals 67. If I gather my like terms, 4A minus 9 equals 67. So I can solve this now to find out what A is. So if I add 9, I'll get that 4A equals 76. And then if I divide by 4, I'll get that A equals 19. So we know that Abby is 19. Ben is 9 years younger than Abby, so he must be 10. And Charlotte is twice as old as Abby, so she must be 38. There's nothing that goes into 19, 10 and 38, so we can just leave them like that. We don't need to simplify it. Right, a shop sells packs of black pens, packs of red pens and packs of green pens. There are 5 pens in each pack of black, 4 pens in each pack of red, 3 pens in each pack of green. On a Monday, the number of packs of black to the number of packs of red to the number of packs of green sold is 8 to 5 to 2. A total of 264 pens were sold. Work out the number of green pens sold. Right, well, if there's 5 black in a pack and they sold 8 packs, let's call that 40. 4 pens in a red, and they sold, well, not necessarily 5, but 5 parts. So 4 times 5 is 20. And 3 in a pack of green, and they sold 2 lots of them, so that would be 6. So now my ratio is dealing with the actual number of pens. So let's see if I can simplify this down, make it a little bit easier for myself. So that would be 20 to 10 to 3. So how many parts have I got here altogether? I've got 33 parts. I know that there were 264 pens sold, so I'm going to do 264 divided by 33. Now my bus stop's not going to get me very far here, because 33 into 2 doesn't, 33 into 26 doesn't. I'm going to end up doing 33 into 264. So let's have a think about my 33 times table. One lot's 33, two lot would be 66, three lots would be 99, four lots would be 132. Oh, I'm noticing that that is half of that. So 8 lots must be 264. So I've got my 8. That's how much each part is worth. Each part is worth 8 pence. So if I do 8 times 3, 24 green pence. Right, ADC is a triangle, AED and ABC are straight lines, EB is parallel to DC, angle EBC is 123, angle ADC is 56. Work out the size of angle EAB, so that one, you must give a reason for each stage of your working. Right, okay, so that one's got to be 56 because it's the same as that. Angles on parallel lines. That's corresponding. This one, we know that angles on a straight line add to 180, so I think that must be 57. Angles on a straight line add to 180. And then I can use the angles in a triangle add to 180 to find out my other one here. So let's see, I've got 56 plus 57. Which would be 113. So 180 take away 113. Would be 67. So I think the answer is 67 degrees. I gave a reason for that one. I gave a reason for that one. My reason for doing this is angles in a triangle add to 180. Right, a car travels for 42 minutes at an average speed of 90 kilometres an hour. How far will the car travel in these 42 minutes? Okay, well I might try and chunk this up into different amounts of time. So 42 minutes, let's see how far I would get in half an hour and work from there. So 30 mins is half an hour, so it must have gone half of the distance. So half of 90 would be 45, so they would have gone 45 kilometres. And then I just need an extra 12 minutes, don't I? An extra 12 minutes would sort it. How many 12s go into 60? 5 12s go into 60, so this is 1/5 of an hour. 12 minutes is 1/5 of an hour, because 12 times 5 is 60. So I bet 1/5 of 90 would be how far we'd go. So 1/5 of 90, how many 5s in 90 is 18. So if I add these two together, it will get me my 42 mins, which will be equal to 63 kilometres. Sorry guys, proper dry. Right, David says 90 kilometres per hour is faster than 25 metres per second. Is David correct? You must show how you get your answer. So I'm going to start with the 25 metres per second and try and scale it up to kilometres per hour. So 25 metres per second. There are 60 seconds in a minute, so I can go up by times in by 60. So let's have 25 times 60. 6 times 2 is 12, 2 zeros. 6 times 5 is 30 with 1 0. So that'd be 1,500 meters per minute. I can get to minutes to hours by timesing by 60 again, because there's 60 minutes in an hour. So let's do 1,500 times 60. 6 times 1 is 6. 4 zeros. 6 times 5 is 30. 3 zeros. So that's 9 with 4 zeros. Meters per hour. So I just need to put this into kilometers now, which would be, there's 1,000 kilometers. 1,000 meters in a kilometers. So that would be 90 kilometers per hour, which is the same. So no, he's wrong. Right, last question, guys. At the end of 2017, the value of Mika's house was £240,000. The value of Nora's house was £180,000. At the end of 2019, the value of Mika's house had decreased by 11%. The value of Nora's house had increased by 15%. At the end of 2019, whose house had the greater value? Right, well, Mika started off at £240,000. And they are going down by 11%. So 10%, just divide by 10, which would be 24,000. And then I need 1% here to make 11%, don't I? So that would be 2,400. So in total, she's gone down by 26,400. So let's take that off our starting price. So 240,000 minus 26,400. 0 take 0 is 0, 0 take 0 is 0, 0 take 4 can't be done, so we need to borrow. 3, 10, didn't want it there, down to 9, yes. 10 take 4 is 6, 9 take 6 is 3, 3 take 2 is 1. £213,600. So Mika's lost a bit of money there on her house. Right, Nora's house started at 180,000. Good old Nora. And her value has gone up by 15%. So 10%, if I divide by 10, would be 18,000. 5% to group together to get my 15. 5 is half of 10, so that'd be 9,000. So in total, they're increasing by 27,000. So they started with 180,000. They're going up by 27,000. So their house is now worth £207,000. So well done, Nora, but Mika's is still worth more. So we just write that nice and clearly for our examiner. Right, cool. Hope that helped. Good luck in your exam.